Hi everyone, welcome to the session. Hi guys, my name is Prabhu Sharma and I'm your JEE Math faculty. And today we are going to discuss a new topic, derivatives and differentiability. So first let me start with the basics, that what is derivative. So a derivative is the way to show a rate of change, that is the amount by which a function is changing at one given point. This is the basic definition of derivative. I am repeating again that derivative is a way to show rate of change, that is the amount by which a function is changing at one given point. That is derivative. And for functions that act on the real numbers, it is the slope of the tangent line at a point on the graph. So if suppose I am having a function, let's say y equal to fx, then its derivative would be dy over dx. Y equal to fx, let's say a function. So derivative dy over dx. F dash x. This is the derivative. And as we know that slope is change in y over change in x. That is the basic definition of the slope. So average slope between 2 points, that also we can find if we are having the graph. Slope is change in y over change in x, means delta y over delta x. To find the derivative of a function y equal to fx, we can use the slope formula. Delta y over delta x. Change in y over change in x. And we can use the same method to work out the derivatives of some other function like sine, cosine, logarithmic, exponential, etc. Okay. So for different types of functions, we are having different formula. Like for power rule, we are having the formula d over dx of x raised to power of n, that is equal to n times x raised to power of n minus. So this is the first formula. For example, if suppose we have to find the derivative of x square, so this is equal to 2x. Like that we can apply. Similarly, the derivative of x cube d over dx of x raised to power of 3, that's equal to 3 times x. Similarly, we can use for some other function. And we have so many rules for finding the derivative of the functions, like we can apply product rule, quotient rule, chain rule. And for trigonometric functions, we are having different formula, like the derivative of sin x is cos x is negative sin x. For sec x, we are having the formula tan x, 10x sec square x, and for different functions we can find the derivative. Okay, so let us try to solve some problem. Here is the first problem on the board. It says if fx equal to tan inverse 1 over x square root of 1 plus x square minus 1, then find f dash 0, means the derivative at x equal to 0. So here I am writing the question on the board. It says if fx equal to so this is the function on the board. Fx equal to tan inverse 1 over x square root of 1 plus x square minus 1. You have to find f dash at 0, means the derivative of fx at x equal to 0. That means derivative of fx at x equal to 0. So we know that the derivative of tan inverse x is 1 over 1 plus x square. but that method will take too much time. So instead of that, we can take some substitution here. Let's say x equal to tan theta. So first let us try to solve that part. Since x equal to tan theta, 1 over tan theta, 1 plus tan square theta minus 1. We know that 1 plus tan square theta is sec square theta, but square root of that will give only sec theta. So sec theta divided by tan theta minus 1. This sec theta can be written as 1 over cos theta. 1 over cos theta. And this tan theta can be written as sin theta over cos theta. Minus 1. After further simplification, we can simplify this as 1 over sin theta minus 1. All this is equivalent to 1 minus sin theta over sin theta. After taking LCM. So by putting x equal to tan theta and after simplifying, actually we are having a bracket here, so just a small change, that is sec theta minus 1 on the whole. So we can also write this as sec theta minus 1. Instead of that, we can write as 1 minus cos theta so we can also simplify by using this method instead of changing into sine and other. One minus cos theta divided by sin theta. Now 1 minus cos theta is 2 sin square theta by 2. This is 2 sin theta by 2 cos theta by 2. We know that sin 2 theta is 2 sin theta cos theta, while 1 minus cos 2 theta is 2 sin square theta. We can apply the formula here, and after simplification, tan theta by 2. So tan theta by 2 is the value which we are getting. Just substituting here tan theta by 2. So let us try to solve that part over here. Fx equal to tan inverse this whole tan theta by 2. We know that tan inverse of tan x is x theta by 2 after simplifying. Okay. Now from the first equation, if x equal to tan theta, theta equal to tan inverse of x. Theta equal to tan inverse of x. So fx is equal to 1 by 2 tan inverse of x. Now applying the derivative, f dash x equal to 1 over 2 the derivative of tan inverse x, which is equal to 1 over 1 plus x square. We can apply here the derivative. So that's equal to 1 by 2 and 1 over 1 plus x. Now at x equal to 0. At x equal to 0, this would be equal to 1 by 2, 1 over 1 plus 0 square, which is equal to 1 by 2. Hence, this is the final answer. Therefore, the value of f dash 0 is 1 by 2. Or the derivative of fx at x equal to 0 is 1 by 2. So, in this problem, first we applied x equal to tan theta and then simplified by using the trigonometric identities and ratios, and finally after simplifying it's tan theta by 2. Substituting tan theta by 2 in place of 1 over x into 1 over square root of 1 plus x square minus 1, tan inverse tan theta by 2. We know that tan inverse of tan x is x, so just simplifying 1 by 2 theta. Now from the first equation, theta equal to tan inverse of x. Substituting here 1 over 2, the derivative of tan inverse x. Now we know that the derivative of tan inverse x is 1 over 1 plus x square. At the end, substituting x equal to 0, the final answer 1 by 2. Okay, let's move to the next question, second question. If fx equal to square root of 1 minus sine 2x, then fx equal to. So if suppose we are having a problem like that, how we can do these problem in a quicker time? We all know all the trigonometric identities, trigonometric formula. So just we need to apply trigonometric identities and formulas here. After simplification, we can find the derivative easily. So let us try to solve this question. Second. For that, we can use some other color. We know that 1 can be written as sin square plus x plus cos square. Similarly, we know that sin 2x can be written as 2 sin x cos x. Just substituting the value over there. So fx equal to square root of sin square x plus cos square x minus 2 sin x cos. Fx equal to square root of, this is in the form of a square plus b square minus 2ab. We can write as a minus b whole square. So that's gonna be sin x plus cos x whole square minus, because a square plus b square minus 2ab, a minus b whole square. Okay. So now we know that if a minus b whole square is same as e minus a whole square. So we can write like sin x minus cos x whole square, or but we know that square root of y square is equal to mod of y. So instead of writing sin x minus cos x whole square means sin x minus cos x, we will write as mod of sin x minus cos. Now we are having fx. So let's check what options we are having. F dash x equal to, option A says negative, then cos x plus sin x for x lies between pi by 2 to pi by 4 to pi by 2. Option B, cos x plus sin x for x lies between 0 to pi by 4. Option C, negative cos x plus sin x for x lies between 0 to pi by 4. And the last one, cos x minus sin x for next lies between pi by 4 to pi by 2. So we know that in 0 to pi by 4, the value of cos x is greater than sin x. From pi by 4 to pi by 2, sin x is greater than cos x. That concept we can apply here. So now two scenarios are possible. First is if I am writing this as sin x minus cos x, or first I am writing this as sin x minus cos x. That's it. So here we will work according to the definition of absolute value function. According to that, mod x equal to x plus x when x is greater than 0. Mod x equal to negative x when x is less than 0. On the third, mod x equal to 0 when x is 0. So here we will work according to the definition of modulus function. So two cases. First I am writing sin x minus cos x when x lies between pi by 4 to pi by 2. Because in this case, sin x would be greater than cos x. Second part. So here, second part we'll discuss later. First, let us try to find the derivative over here. F dash x is equal to the derivative of this is cos x, and derivative of this is plus sin. Because the derivative of cos x is negative sin x, but that negative positive. So f dash x equal to cos x plus sin x when sin x is greater than cos x, or when x lies between pi by 4 to pi by 2. Okay, this is the one. In the second case, instead of sin x minus cos x, we are writing cos x minus sin x when x lies between 0 to pi by 4, and when cos x is greater than sin x. This is the second case. Finding the derivative, f dash x equal to negative sin x, negative cos. After taking negative sign common, this is sin x plus cos. So option C is correct one for this one. The second question, option C is correct. For the first one, again option. Okay, now let us discuss question number 4. It says if f dash 3 equal to 2, then limit h approaches to 2, 0, f of 3 plus h square minus f of 3 minus h square divided by 2h square is. In option A, we are having 1, D2, D3, and D4, and D1 by 2. given f dash t equal to 2. And limit h approaches to 0, f of 3 plus h square minus f of 3 minus h square whole divided by the denominator 2h square. So one thing is clear that if I am putting h equal to 0 here, and if we are applying the direct limit, what we are getting? F of 3 minus f of 3 divided by 2 times 0 square. So we are getting 0 by 0 form. 0 by 0 form on applying the limit directly. So how to start this? How we can differentiate? Sorry, how we can find the limit of this function? And this function is in the form of fx over gx. So here we can apply L'Hospital rule. Means according to L'Hospital rule, it says if limit x approaches to c, fx gx. Let me just write the rule over here. According to that limit, h approaches to 0, or let's say x approaches to c, instead of h approaches to 0, x approaches to c, fx over gx is equal to limit x approaches to c, f dash c over g dash. Here we can apply that rule, L'Hospital rule. By applying L'Hospital rule, we can find the limit easily. So here it is. Limit h approaches to 0, f of 3 minus h square negative f of 3 plus h square okay. So first we need to find the derivative of numerator, then the derivative of denominator. The derivative of numerator f of 3 plus h square minus f of 3 minus h square. Here we cannot find the derivative directly. We will have to apply chain rule. According to that, first we need to differentiate the outer function. Two types of functions we are having, outer and inner. Outer is f of this part. So if I am assuming this part as x, if suppose this part I am assuming as x, so f of x. The derivative of f of x would be f dash x. So the derivative of that would be f dash t plus h square. Now the derivative of inner function in x, the derivative of d over of dx. And here we are differentiating with respect to h. So t plus h square negative f dash t minus h square times the derivative of t minus h, like this. So in second part we did the same we have done in part first, divided by the derivative of this 2h square, 2 times the derivative of h square. Here we can apply the power rule. According to the power rule, the derivative of x is to power of n is n times x is to power of n minus. Limit h approaches to 0. Now this part is f dash and this part is 2f. minus derivative of h square is 2h. So that would be 4h. Just simplify. Okay. Now we can take h common from the numerator. Instead of h, 2h we can take common. So then we are having f dash p plus h square, and this negative negative positive. F dash p minus h square whole divided by 4h. Since h is not equal to 0, h approaches to 0, so we can cancel that part, 2h with this 2h. 2. Now when h approaches to 0, finally we are getting 2 times f dash 3 divided by 2, which is equal to f dash 3. F dash 3 means the derivative of fx at x equal to 3. After simplifying, it's f dash 3. And the value of f dash 3 is given as 2. Hence the final answer is 2. In this question, first we applied L'Hospital rule, and in the numerator part, we just applied the chain rule. Means the derivation of outer function, then the inner function, and same derivative we did in the denominator, and then simplified. After simplification, we are getting 2h into f dash 3 plus h square plus f dash 3 minus h square. This is the numerator divided by 4h. After simplifying, this is f dash 3 plus h square plus f dash 3 minus h square divided by 2. Applying the limit, f dash 3 plus f dash 3 divided by 2 equal to f dash 3. So hence finally we are getting 2. So that is all from this session, and we did few problems from derivative and differentiation. So all the rules that we applied here, like chain rule, product rule, and quotient rule, and also L'Hospital rule for calculating the limit. These we can apply for derivative and differentiability. So for question number 4, option B is correct. Basically, chain rule, product rule, quotient rule, these questions are application of these types of rules. Product rule we can apply when we are having two functions in the product form. Quotient rule we can apply when we are having the two functions in the in division form. And chain rule when we are having two functions, one function inside another function. So that's fine. That's all for today, and that is all from differentiation and differentiability. Thanks for joining everyone.